This is my dad, Ron O'Neill.
Yes, I am Ron O'Neill. I was born in 1955 and I'm 60 years old.
Okay. So, before the internet, what did you use to keep in touch with the rest of the world?
Uh, we would, you would read newspapers to understand, or watch the news on television, or listen to it on the radio. That's how we kept in touch with things that were happening around the world.
Okay. How did you communicate with people that lived far away from you?
We would write a letter, send cards. If it was very important, we'd make a telephone call. But the problem with the telephone call was every minute you were on the phone, it cost money. So your phone calls were very short.
Okay. What did you do to pass time instead of playing on a cell phone like kids do nowadays?
Well, my big thing was played sports, so I was always outside, doing things outside. But I mean, I could play games, meet my friends. Uh, we had more communication with other uh, kids or friends than you do now. Personal, face-to-face meetings.
Okay. What kind of changes did you see after the internet became available?
Well, the changes I saw was the fact that the amount of knowledge and that you have at your fingertips, that it only take you a couple of minutes to look up something or get something or even have communication with friends. Uh, it, things were so much faster.
Okay. Knowing and having what you have now, do you think you could live without the internet?
Do I think I could live without the internet? Yes, but it would be certainly a lot more difficult. I mean, back in early 80s, 70s, we didn't have a lot of luxuries that you guys have. We didn't. I still remember one of my teachers in high school saying he was thinking about getting a personal computer. We were laughing at him because, computers to us were like the size of a room. They were so big. They weren't this short thing. So, yes, could I live? But it would be definitely more difficult after living in this era.
Okay. When you watched the movie Back to the Future, did you think that the type of technology would be possible like it is today?
I knew there was going to be more advanced technology, uh, but I never expected it to be as advanced as it is uh, to this extent. I still remember watching, they were talking about having telephones with a camera on it so that you could see the other person, which now is like no big deal. But back then, that was like big, far-fetched.
You mean like we're talking right now?
Yeah, yeah, that was like a big deal. I mean, they didn't have the fancy things that we have. A cell phone, there was no cell phones. You were lucky if you had a mobile phone in the car, and that was very expensive. Even a telephone, a lot of people didn't even have telephones because they were so expensive.
Okay. How do you think the internet affects the lives of this generation, positive or negative?
Positively, in the way that you have so much knowledge at your fingertips that it takes you seconds to look up something of a fact. So, yes, it's positive in that. And negatively, I would say it makes you much more lazy. When I was a kid and I had to do a term paper or do something for school, I'd have to go to the library, look it up. If you were lucky enough to own an encyclopedia, but it wasn't like you would have it in a couple of seconds. It might take you a whole day to do the research for it.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, this is very interesting.
Okay. Thank you, Dad.
All right, you're welcome.